Hello Blazers, welcome to episode 18 of UAB Green and Told. Original air date Monday, April 27th, 2020. Through UAB Green and Told, we are able to share stories from members of the UAB family. I'm Greg Berry, Assistant Director in the UAB Office of Alumni Affairs. This week we are joined by Kathleen Stallings, Director of the UAB Office of Undergraduate Admissions. Kathleen knows all about students. They're her life, her career. After all, she sells students on coming to UAB, students she knows who are incredibly special.
A UAB-bound student is very academically focused. They know what they want. They know what their next steps are. They know what their grad school or professional school looks like or their career goals.
She may work with students, but she also understands the importance alumni play in bringing future Blazers to campus.
They are the ones that know the experience to be able to say, man, look at this growth. Wow.
Kathleen may not be an alum, but she is certain she could have thrived as part of the UAB undergraduate community. She has found a home in Birmingham, has an incredible passion for UAB, the green and gold, and being a Blazer.
I'm almost sad to say that I'm not an alum when someone asks me, and I kind of sheepishly say, no, but I'm producing alums. I'm helping you get alums.
Kathleen Stallings grew up in Macon, Georgia. Following in her sister's footsteps after graduating high school, she chose to go to Furman to major in cello. While she feels she had an incredible collegiate experience, she'll be the first to admit she didn't go about picking a school the right way.
I am the absolute opposite of what the student profile is that we work with today. I was one that had her mind made up early in senior year. I was just going where my sister went, and I got the appropriate amount of scholarship that I needed to make it work for my family, and that was that. So no, I am the antithesis of what I want to work with these days.
Looking back, are you kind of surprised at that?
Well, I am, absolutely, and I think that I shared with my staff maybe our last training that I consider myself to be sort of an avenger of those students that didn't have the support that I did from my parents. I had a very supportive, counseling office, parents. My older sister had sort of paved the way for college, and I consider my career path to be avenging those that didn't have those resources. And that is exactly what I want to continue doing.
What kind of led you to coming to UAB, and what appealed to you about moving to Birmingham?
I had been exposed to UAB through SACAC, through the Southern Association of College Admissions Counseling, and I'd met Tyler Peterson at a conference and mentioned to him that I was coming to the area, mentioned to him that I was interested in plugging into the UAB community, and really all that I had researched and read, it really was sort of a no-brainer. I wanted to work at UAB for the purpose of serving UAB, not just to serve my own kind of career in college admissions. And I was hired as the Associate Director of Scholarships and High Ability Admissions. And it was a job, it was a position that I could really make my own. And I was there I was in that position for exactly 1 year when I took the director position in admissions.
What is it about admissions that drew you in and made you want to work in that realm?
As I've met students and worked with students, there's a need for exposing students to all the opportunities that they have beyond high school. And it can be really confusing. It can be really confusing to sort out that system, to sort out the application process, to sort out the financial aid process. And I feel like admissions is the first stop to helping translate that new language that they are learning as far as continuing education beyond high school graduation.
Part of the entire process is getting alumni involved.
Absolutely.
Why are alumni so important in the entire process of bringing somebody to campus through admissions and getting them here?
Well, they are the ones that know the experience. And I think what's so very cool about UAB and about the experience of a rather young university is the significant change that's happened in the past 50 years. An alumni 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it experienced college on a much different campus and environment, but they still have that UAB degree. They still have kind of that UAB mission at heart. They still have Birmingham connected to their experience. And I think it's really incumbent upon us and incumbent upon alumni to understand those changes and to be really up to speed with what's happening currently on campus, to be able to say, man, look at this growth. Wow, look at what's happening to the college footprint. Look at these construction sites. I joke about people having a hard time finding our campus visit center because of the hard parking or the construction. Well, orange cones are a blessing to a college campus because that means growth and that means opportunities for students. But with such rapid growth for such a young university, alums must be in tune to that growth. So just merely keeping up with what's happening on campus, staying engaged, reading, newsletters or whatever that comes out, it's so very important to acknowledge, man, look at this growth, because that environment is not going to be for everyone. I think that there are some students that are looking for deep-seated traditions in a college experience, very, very traditional, perhaps, shall I say, like a Southern college experience. And that's not UAB. And that's what makes me so excited about it, because we are providing a very traditional undergraduate experience for our students, but we're in the heart of Birmingham.
Basically, there's no better brand ambassador than our alumni.
Right, correct. I absolutely agree. As long as the alumni are willing to stay up to speed, right? And are willing to be engaged with what is currently happening on campus, because that's the coolest connection to make, is what happened when they were in school and whoa, man, what's happening right now on campus.
How can they stay in the know and be on top of things, the ever-changing, ever-evolving UAB campus and everything that it has to offer?
At risk of sounding like a millennial, I would say that our alums need to follow Explore UAB on Instagram. It's important to understand that Explore UAB is for the whole campus. So we have done a lot of work streamlining our social media to make sure that you're not having to go all over the place to find information. So recruitment used to have its own Instagram, but now we're all under Explore UAB. And that's where you'll get all kinds of new topics. But as far as true admissions goes, the word you have to remember is choose UAB. So anything having to do with admissions is going to somewhere have the language or the hashtag choose UAB. And that's what we use to indicate recruitment efforts. So on the website, it's uab.edu/chooseuab. Our hashtag for all of our events, all of our admissions events on campus is #ChooseUAB. I think that the website /ChooseUAB is a perfect source for alumni that are looking just to learn more about our current processes. It's robust. It has everything there, from applying to financial aid, scholarship opportunities, enrolling, coming to campus. It's the place where we want to send prospective students, but also having a thumbnail of that information under your belt is really important to say, oh, you want to learn about UAB? Well, go to this website.
Students have definitely evolved over the years. Back 20, 30 years ago, they necessarily didn't know what their career path really was. Mm-hmm. Now they know, before they even get to school, get to college, what they plan on doing, what they want to do. So it's really important to alumni to kind of understand the admissions calendar for juniors and seniors.
Students these days, high school students are very, very savvy. They are very savvy. And especially at UAB, we see a lot of students, and I love it, but a UAB bound student is very academically focused. They know what they want. They know what their next steps are. They know what their grad school or professional school looks like, or their career goals, and they are ready. But also, we have to make sure that they take the appropriate steps to get to UAB. So as far as the calendar goes, it's so very important to understand that we do have deadlines. This world has to have deadlines. August 1st of every year is when our admissions application opens. We have a UAB application, as well as we are on the Common app, which makes it easy for students to apply to multiple schools. October 1st is a big, not really a deadline, but it's a big date in our world in UAB admissions, because that is when you can first submit your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. That's when you can first apply to scholarships for B-Smart. And that's also this past year when orientation and housing have opened to register. So students that are really on top of all their things, they can get a ton of stuff done in the month of October of their senior year. Now, December 1 is our priority deadline for in-state scholarships. You must be admitted by December 1 to be considered for automatically awarded merit-based scholarships. And that is also sort of staying in line with students that are wanting to have all of their business taken care of by Christmas break. That's a big trend for our high achieving students that know what they want. They know that they want to be at UAB. They could quite feasibly have their FAFSA submitted, get a scholarship award, know that they've been admitted prior to Christmas break of their senior year at high school. And then moving into springtime of your senior year, I think it's just really important. The biggest advice I can give an admitted student in their spring of their senior year is check your email. High school students have not quite learned that the adult world revolves around email and that email is an official form of communication, right? And so as we send out reminders and announcements, we just want them to be up to speed on all the information. Now, for students earlier in the process, it's very important to know the test schedules for the year. So UAB accepts SAT and ACT scores alike. And really, for those that are even younger, I would say the urban legend that you have heard about your senior year grades not counting, quote unquote, is somewhat true. Because when we accept transcripts from high school, we are only looking at the first 3 years, unless we need to look at first semester of senior year for a particular reason. You hear that sort of mythic tale of, senior year doesn't matter. It absolutely matters, and you absolutely must get through your senior year of high school. But also freshman, sophomore, and junior year matter a lot. And you can't just slide by freshman year and think, oh, that was just 9th grade. No one's going to look at my grades. If it's on your high school transcript, we are looking at it.
Who can alumni connect with if they do have any questions that they want to answer?
We have 22 on staff in admissions. We have, I think, 17 recruiters. That's what they do. They are assigned to a territory, and really it's having an assignment like that is understanding the students that you are recruiting. So if you're recruiting in the Mobile area, if you're recruiting in the Gadsden area, if you're recruiting in North Carolina, it's all about students, or all about our counselors understanding the students from their area. The website to find out who is your counselor is uab.edu/mycounselor. And then visitors to that website can search by state or by county or even by high school. In Alabama, we divide up high schools locally. We even are starting a function on that My Counselor website where there's going to be a button next to the counselor's picture where it just says schedule a meeting. And you can click it and it'll come up with available times that your counselor from Mobile is free to meet either in person or via, a Zoom or a FaceTime or just on the phone. But we want to make sure that they are getting in touch with their person. And although anybody in admissions can answer questions about the application process or about the enrollment process, it's that very specific admissions counselor that can help students navigate the entire process. And we hire and we assign territories very intentionally based on the area of the state and the country that you would be recruiting. So I would want alumni to feel very secure in sending, a child or a friend or a family friend to that website and saying, hey, make sure you go and find your admissions counselor from Dothan, because they are the ones that know about what's happening in your area, events in your area. They know about your high schools, and they're the ones that can help you through this UAB process.
Every time I talk to you, every time I hear you speak, you have an energy and a passion for UAB.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
What I've seen at UAB, it has dispelled every preconceived notion of what I had about college. And I was a snot. I was a high school snot that didn't look anywhere else. I only looked one place. I applied to 2 colleges. I was just a snot. I thought I knew everything. And working at UAB has really proven me terribly wrong. I could have found a great home at UAB. I am certain of it. And the preconceived notions that I had as a 17, 18-year-old prospective student, thinking that I knew what I needed from college, it sounds so silly to me, even just reflecting back on it. UAB has proven time and time again, I could have had an incredible experience here. I know it. And I'm almost sad to say that I'm not an alum when someone asks me, and I kind of sheepishly say, no, but I'm producing alums. I'm helping you get alums. But I think it's more of my growth and my deep, deep desire to help high school students, help families understand higher education and understand that you can have a fit and you can have a home anywhere. But you have to make it a fit and have to make it a home. You have to invest. You have to get involved. And I just reflect back and I'm ashamed of my 17-year-old self for not thinking about the wider world of opportunities. And as I've learned more and more at UAB, I've been here for 4 years now, I always in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, I could have done some great things here. Man, I wish I had been a part of that program. Oh my gosh, I wish I had volunteered for that organization. And I want to share that with students. I don't want students to make the mistake that I did. Now, granted, I had a fabulous college experience. I really, really did. But I was so narrow-minded in my search. And I think that UAB in general has just really helped me expand my understanding of what a successful college experience can be.
What's the biggest challenge of working with 15, 16, 17-year-olds?
Gosh, that's hard. I think one of my strong suits is working with their parents because now that I'm in that age range, I feel more adept at working with parents of 15, 16, 17-year-olds. But I think really for them, it's just helping them understand how big the world is. And when you do have students that are so very talented, that are so very single track minded in a wonderful way, I think that exposing them to an institution like UAB and helping them see, okay, there are some bigger things here. There are some things to get involved with. Yes, you may want to be a doctor, and absolutely, please, serve our community in that way. But also take advantage of what's around you. Take advantage, even in high school, we talk about students that fill their resume up with lots and lots of activities. Well, That's all well and good, but what about those 2 or 3 activities that you really love and that you've really invested in? And it's hard to have those conversations with our students that just want to do everything and all of it and fill up all their time in after school and want to fill their resume. But when it comes down to it, what are you investing in? And that shift from, getting a participation ribbon for everything, then to being able to talk about 2 or 3 organizations that they've been involved in, they've invested in, that's a big shift. And understanding that shift at 17, 18 is going to serve them very, very well as they consider, professional school or as they consider job interviews. Having a depth of knowledge is very important. And I guess in our role, we're just helping that maturity. We're helping guide students in a way of being prepared for college and being prepared for, quote unquote, the real world.
And that's Kathleen Stallings. Kathleen joined the UAB family in 2016 and slid into her role as Director of Undergraduate Admissions a year later. She spends a lot of time recruiting students and is immersed in bringing future Blazers to Birmingham. Surely she knows what it means to be a Blazer.
I think that being a Blazer means standing in the balance of the past and the future. I think that we have this really incredible position as a school in the heart of Birmingham, as a younger school, relatively speaking, in Alabama, and in the nation. We have this incredible opportunity to embrace both the past and the future. And it is so fun to see what's happening on campus. When you talk about innovation, being a Blazer to me means innovating. Being a Blazer means being curious.
Stay on top of all of our episodes by subscribing to UAB Green and Told on iTunes and Spotify. You can also listen in at alumni.uab.edu/Green and Told. Be sure to let us know how we're doing. By giving us a rating and leaving a written review, you'll allow more alumni to find us. Got a comment? Drop me a line at greenandtold@uab.edu. Finally, follow us on social media. You can find us at UAB Alumni on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for listening, and until next time, go Blazers.